Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of There Will Be Expletives. I'm Jeff.
I'm Ron.
And it has been 1 week post the expletive crackdown on YouTube. We're still in operation. we are hiding in the attic. We are like the podcast equivalent of Anne Frank on YouTube. They still haven't found us, but if you are...
You're Anne Frank in the attic. You're Anne Frank in the attic, and I'm Steve Yeun underneath the trash dumpster.
Or you're on Family Guy. Peter's eating the fucking Pringles. You remember that? Now I just want to go watch that episode of Family Guy.
Oh, man. We are 50 seconds in, and we already have our first Family Guy reference.
Well... South Park, Dark Souls, South Park. I think we're done. Our Game of Thrones. Now we're done. Okay.
Okay. Good night, everyone.
Let's get started on the movie news, though.
Fuck yes.
First up,
fuck yes.
Trailer for Underworld Blood Wars. What do you think, Ron?
That's all. That's my entire review. Fuck yes.
This is one of your probably favorite ongoing franchises, isn't it?
Oh, yes. One of my absolute favorites. To me, it's the gold standard. Regardless of what you think of the story, to me, it's the gold standard for vampires and werewolves both. I love the way that they have done both of those creatures.
I can kind of agree with that because most things are doing, specifically vampires, fucking horribly the last 15 years.
Werewolves are my favorite creature of the night type thing, and I fucking love the way the Underworld franchise does the Lycans, and I love werewolves in the Van Helsing movie with Hugh Jackman. I think they are done phenomenally.
So, what do you think about how... I know you pointed this out to me, and once you pointed it out, I could not notice it. I love how they'll cycle out Underworld out of the trailer when they're doing the pop-up word ads, but Kate Beckinsale, which is almost listed as big of a font as the title,
yes,
never leaves the screen.
It almost looks like Kate Beckinsale's Underworld, like a book or something.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I don't blame them because, I mean, you tell me Kate Beckinsale's in a movie shooting vampires and werewolves in leather for an hour and a half, and you have my $10. So,
and you find out in the sex scene with Scott Speedman in the second one that there's nothing underneath that leather. She just unzips and boom. Yeah.
Well, now I need to go fucking search out Underworld on Netflix.
I think you need to actually. I know at least the first two are up because I found them the other day, and now I know why because then this trailer surfaced.
Yeah,
but
I like them. It's just been God, when did the first one come out? 2004, some shit like that. It's been a long time.
It's been a long time.
The most recent one, when they brought Kate Beckinsale back, was 4 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it took them that long to get another sequel going.
The third one, that was the one character they didn't need, was Kate Beckinsale's character. So she's not even in it. Because it's thousands of years before her character. I think you should search them out, revisit them.
Yeah, I always like the...
Especially after all the bullshit that's been out today with vampires and everything else. I think you'll find yourself finding a new love for that franchise, revisiting it.
Yeah, it was definitely pretty solid. In the trailer, it looks like they managed to make damn sure you knew that Charles Dance was in it this time, because now Charles Dance is a thing. Hopefully they gave him a little bit more to do, because we found out he was in the previous one, which I think was Awakening. I think that was the name of the previous one. But we obviously didn't know who Tywin Lannister was at that point, so Charles Dance wasn't as big of a deal. Also, the villain is Edmure from Game of Thrones.
Yes.
Which, that guy's a really good actor, so I think...
And I still think of Doctor Who, even though he was in one episode. I still think of Doctor Who. Yeah. But here's the bottom line endorsement I have for that trailer. Regardless of what you think of the franchise or their story or the way they work their plots or anything, it and Resident Evil both, at their very core, just seem like fun movies.
They are at least fully aware of what they are.
Yes.
Unlike, I think the Michael Bay Transformer films would actually be a lot better if Michael Bay could realize he makes garbage movies.
Yes.
And doesn't take himself so seriously. Underworld and Resident Evil don't take themselves that seriously, which makes it work. So
yeah, they're fully aware of what they are, and there's nothing wrong with a movie just being fun. It doesn't always have to
the
be
internet
world
will disagree
building.
with you.
I know,
but I agree with you.
So that's my bottom line thing. It looks like they're at least going to be a $5 Tuesday, if nothing else, and be really fun.
So, speaking of taking yourself too seriously, let's talk about the DC Extended Universe.
Woohoo!
So, no, this is actually some really, really good stuff coming out that gives me a little bit of hope. Geoff Johns, who, if you're unfamiliar with him, is one of the biggest names in comics over the last 20 years or so. He recently took over...
I don't even read any comics, and I know exactly who Geoff fucking Johns is.
Yeah.
So...
he recently took over the Feige role for the DC films, and that he just today, in his first interview since taking over that role, actually gave out a whole bunch of tidbits about like their progress over stuff like basically readjusting Suicide Squad and reworking it post the BVS experience, I guess is what we can call that thing.
It was an experience. You're not wrong.
It was an unfortunate experience, but it was an experience. Okay. This is the first thing I made note of. He said this film will directly address Batman's extreme actions in BVS, such as torturing criminals and nearly killing Superman himself, in addition to every person he came across in that movie.
Thank God their mother's names were Martha. Otherwise, there would be no Superman.
That's a really good sign. They're going to address it, and his quote was basically, the film will directly address his extreme actions rather than accept them as par for the course. Good job. Get rid of that shit.
So what I'm hearing is damage control, damage control, damage control, quote by Geoff Johns.
Yeah, basically all of that shit you didn't like, we are not doing that anymore. Let's see. He talked about how he also did a rewrite on Wonder Woman, which I think we talked about previously, but he did do an extensive rewrite, it seems like.
Okay.
In addition to that, his last quote was basically saying, "We're trying to take a really hard look at everything to make sure we stay true to the characters and tell stories that celebrate them." I'm actually feeling a whole lot better about all these, obviously, with him on board, but I really like how it's sounding that he actually had a lot of influence on Justice League, even though when he took this role, it was very late in the game as far as it already starting production.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was pretty far along by the time he got on board. So, or rather, that I guess he was always on board, but they finally put him in the driver's seat. Yeah, I don't know. There's still a lot I didn't like about that trailer, but it sounds like that movie is still evolving from that first trailer. So,
yeah, I really like the trailer. I at least like the idea that they're showing that it's not taking itself as seriously. There were actually jokes. There was actually banter between the characters,
yes,
which I appreciated.
I may not. There may have been a lot of stuff that I didn't like in the trailer still, but I'll tell you this right now: that trailer is a million times better than the whole BVS movie was.
What was a couple of things you didn't like? It's been so long since we saw the trailer. I can't remember.
I still don't like the direction some of the characters are going. Ben Affleck as Bruce in that felt like he was fighting the studio, he was halfway the Bruce we want him to be and halfway BVS. But and then I have nitpicks, I don't like Flash's costume really after seeing it in action. I admit that's a nitpick, but
yeah, I don't have an issue with the suit.
Okay.
You're wrong. Moving on.
That was what I got out of that.
No, I get what you're saying. It's a little bit of a drastic change, especially when we're so used to
It's
Grant Gustin's
jarring.
one. Yeah, it's a little jarring. I do think it's one of those things where he's such a special effect heavy thing for the movie. It will look better in the final product.
it's part of it is everything is jarring about it, but the other thing is I kind of you go into, if you've seen Batman vs Superman, you go into the Justice League trailer already predisposed to what they did in Batman vs Superman. So the fact that I did not like that movie did not help me like that trailer.
It actually helped me like it a lot more because it is such a 180. But we have no idea how good it will be because the BVS Comic-Con trailer was also something I really enjoyed and you even liked. It was such a great trailer.
I was gonna say that's one of my favorite movie trailers of all time. I think.
I know, like Zack Snyder, you give him like a fucking weekend and a laptop, and he will make a bad movie look like a fucking masterpiece. Apparently,
he probably did that on the flight to Comic-Con. To be honest.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I mean, the whole DC thing is
the whole movie seems like he did it on a flight to somewhere.
The whole thing's a total wait and see. You and I liked Suicide Squad more than most of the internet did.
More than any of the internet did.
But we were talking about, I think it's actually a good comparison with Underworld. Suicide Squad wasn't taking itself too seriously, which I appreciated. It was just trying to be kind of an entertaining, fun movie.
And I think that's one thing a lot of people didn't like about it. I think, I get the idea that DC should be world building at this point because Marvel did that very heavily in Phase 1. But at the same time, I looked at it kind of like Guardians of the Galaxy, where it did a little bit of world building, but it mostly was just a fun experience. And that's the way I saw Suicide Squad, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think BVS, the feedback was totally warranted. I think people went a little overboard with the Suicide Squad hate, but that's me. Not saying the movie's perfect, but I am a lot more okay, let's say this. I am much less nitpicky and bitchy about my review of Suicide Squad versus like a Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
Because they're setting out to accomplish two totally different things, so I am going to grade them by two different standards, basically.
Yeah, I can see that.
While we're talking about Geoff Johns, one of the other things that did come out today is he confirmed Joe Manganiello will be playing Deathstroke. Not only is he playing Deathstroke, it was confirmed he is playing Deathstroke for the Batman solo movie. Oh my god.
I cannot wait.
Give it to me now.
That is going to be amazing. And I can continue not looking forward to Justice League because it was speculated that that's where he's going to be because that was the only thing they had in production. So I guess the thing Ben Affleck leaked was probably test footage for the costume and everything.
I'm willing to bet he actually might have a minor cameo.
Do you think so?
In Justice League, just because they're talking about this movie still being a couple of years away, and for them to be already doing test footage and already having a casting choice down, I could see him being a cameo, but this was what I've been wanting. I've been wanting Deathstroke as the main villain of the Batman movie, because what I don't want to have happen is them to retread out the Jared Leto Joker and then just kind of like try to do the whole Joker thing again.
I'm really concerned, though, because if it's supposed to be under the Red Hood, and we know Joker and Harley escaped at the end of Suicide Squad, and now we've got Deathstroke, it seems like that script is really busy.
Well, to be fair, the whole Under the Red Hood thing is complete speculation, because there's been like 3 or 4 different things they've said, quote unquote, that the Batman solo movie could be. We've heard talks of it's going to be Under the Red Hood. We've heard talks of it's going to be like Arkham Asylum. Like, it's been a little bit all over the place. So I do have a lot more faith in that solo film if they're willing to go the route of using someone like Deathstroke, who is, I think, a really smart choice, something we haven't seen before. Yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to it. The casting choice specifically, I haven't really seen Joe Manganiello in very much, but he looks the part. He's got even like the gray going.
He definitely looks like Slade. I'll give him that. But yeah, I don't know much else about him other than he really doesn't like Peter Parker. That's
I
really
completely fucking forgotten he was in that movie until you told me.
Because when I Googled him, that was the first thing I saw, and I was like, it's Flash fucking Thompson.
Yeah, the thing though with the DC movies, everything you and I have had to complain about since the beginning has been writing and directing problems. Not really the casting. The casting's actually been Like, I mean, you want to talk about, I mean, like J.K. Simmons. They've added Willem Dafoe to these movies. Gal Gadot, they found out of nowhere. I really liked her. Jeremy fucking Irons is Alfred. Like, they've done a really good job casting these people. Momoa.
Yeah. Oh, dude, perfect. Momoa.
Yeah. Really stoked for it. I think it was a brilliant choice. Cannot wait to see what they do with Deathstroke. And another villain that was also potentially confirmed this week could potentially be a spoiler. So I'm just going to put a little warning on this one. If you don't want to know anything at all about Spider-Man Homecoming, maybe skip forward a couple minutes. But holy shit, Rob, we might be getting the shocker in fucking Spidey Homecoming.
Yeah, I was completely shocked at this news.
You just couldn't goddamn help yourself.
I just couldn't.
Yeah. I guess I can respect that a little bit. Yeah, dude, you and I were actually just talking earlier off mic about how we wish more superhero films would use minor villains instead of trying to crowbar in like 3 major villains into a plot. Yeah.
Yeah, no, the minor villain thing really works because one thing I love about Shocker is he's kind of a petty criminal with some really cool technology, and he's for hire, and when he's not hired, he's just out robbing banks and stuff with these really cool gadgets, and you can literally work him into any plot line. I don't know why he hasn't been used yet. I'm kind of thankful he hasn't, but yeah, I'm really excited to see him.
That costume, too, was just straight up taken from the page almost. They even it has the exact same color palette. They didn't change the color palette at all. He even has the little etch stitch marks on him.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. I'm looking at one version of it. I've seen 2 versions of this photo actually. The one I'm looking at, he's got the yellow leather jacket over the cross stitched. And then another one, he's got a brown leather jacket that's an identical jacket over the cross-stitch pattern. Either one looks phenomenal.
Everything about Spidey Homecoming is the best, and I need it now.
Dude, when Civil War comes out, I cannot tell you the number of times that I'm going to be rewatching any of the Spider-Man scenes. It's going to be like the church scene out of Kingsman for me.
Yeah. God, I cannot wait for Civil War. I need it now.
When's that again? Is that Tuesday?
Tuesday, motherfucker. Civil War, do you speak it?
I will on Tuesday.
Goddamn, I can't wait. Let's see. Next up, a little bit more Marvel stuff, but we're going to be transitioning over to TV. We got our first pick of Ghost Rider from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. What did you think of the first pick of Robbie Reyes?
I mean, I liked it. And I like the fact that if you don't know who the fuck Robbie Reyes is and you Google it, you talk about ripping Shocker right off the comic page. He's got the same jacket and everything.
Yeah, he has the same insignia. Yeah.
Yeah. It looks good. It's still not my Ghost Rider, but I mean, S.H.I.E.L.D's been good. Marvel doesn't do bad casting.
It's Gabriel Luna. Looks like he's playing Robbie Reyes.
I'm pretty interested in what they're doing with him.
I think this is going to be giving us our cake and eating it too. I think this is going to be a really, really cool new Ghost Rider approach for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. made fucking Hive one of the most interesting villains they've done in all of their content. So you actually give them like actual characters to work with, like Ghost Rider. I mean, It's not Johnny Blaze, but it's still fucking Ghost Rider. I think it's going to be great. I can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. I'm really interested to see what the CG is going to look like on him. But I'm trying to figure out if they release an image if I want to see it or not. I have not been able to figure out.
We'll see it.
Yeah, you think there's no avoiding it?
I don't think we'll be able to avoid it. I'm really curious to see... Okay, the Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider was created by an artist who has a very, very specific art style, to the point to where in the comics, the Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider honestly looks more like one of the Bleach characters than he does
He'll take
Johnny
a hollow.
Blaze. And I'm actually thinking they might, for the CG, do like a hybrid between the two to like give it kind of that stylized look from this Ghost Rider comic to kind of please those fans, but also like get some like more classic looking CG to it.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't think you can look at that teaser trailer that has already been released a while back. I don't think you can look to that as any guidance, because I think that was just something they threw together real fast. I don't think it has any bearing on what the character will look like.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see two things. One, what the CG is going to look like, because you already know it's going to look like damn good quality-wise. It's just what's the design look like. And what does his transformation look like? I'd be interested to see that.
I'm also interested to see. I was talking earlier. I think this might be getting us our cake and letting us eat it too. I think this is straight up testing the response for doing actual Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider.
Dude, give me Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider on Netflix now.
Yeah. I think it's just a matter of time until they're sitting on Blade. They're still kind of sitting on Ghost Rider, even though he's being used here. Like Ghost Rider Prime, Johnny Blaze is still just sitting there not being used. I think eventually we will get those two characters used somewhere. I agree with you. Give me R-rated Ghost Rider, please, for the love of God.
I feel like we got our preview with the Daredevil stairwell fight.
Yeah, no kidding.
I mean, come on.
Oh, man. This is one other thing. It's just like, I mean, I love you, Marvel Netflix, but like really Iron Fist. I have to sit through Iron Fist while you have Ghost Rider and Blade and Punisher on the fucking desk somewhere. Like, really?
I really think what you said once before is going to be so true. We sit here like really Iron Fist, and it's probably going to end up being our favorite one out of all.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be my favorite thing ever because of how much I have talked shit about it. I'm not saying it's going to be bad. It's just like, I want Ghost Rider, man.
Yeah, I mean, it looks good. It looks like they're treating it pretty well, but there's so many other things on the plate I would rather have.
John Bernthal.
Yeah.
It makes me sad. But it's going to be good. It's going to be good. It's going to be real good because how much shit I've talked about it. You're welcome, Iron Fist fans. You're fucking welcome. All right, next up in the TV news.
The people at Marvel, like, we really got to shut that Jeff guy up.
They're back counting their fucking Benjamins. It's like, just keep talking shit.
Yeah,
we got your $8, motherfucker. Just keep talking shit. Let's see. Next up in the TV news. This was going to be more up Ron's alley than me. I'm going to let you take this one away.
So, it looks like that Cary, Grant, and Tori from the MythBusters, Grant Imahara, Tori Belleci, and Cary Byron, also known as the Build Team before they were full-fledged MythBusters, have a new show coming to Netflix, like everybody else, except us. And
one day...
One day we will be there. It's called the White Rabbit Project, and I'm looking it up because I forgot to look it up before the show.
It sounds like a code name for a snuff film a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Now, everybody keeps saying, MythBusters have a new show, so a whole bunch of rumors got started that MythBusters is coming back on Netflix.
What?
And
what?
So much to the point that I don't remember the exact tweet, but Cary Byron had to tweet that it had nothing to do with mythbusting. It's described here on Deadline as an unscripted original series. So yeah, we'll see how much it's unscripted. Using their scientific sleuth skills honed on MythBusters for what, damn it, Deadline? They investigate weird and wonderful events from pop culture, science, and history. Topics diverse as jailbreaks, superpower technology, heists, and crazy World War II weapons. It sounds a lot like MythBusters.
It tells me absolutely goddamn nothing.
I know.
That's what that tells me.
Each episode, the hosts immerse themselves in experiments, build and test as they sleuth the truth behind these other well-Googled themes.
Welcome to Myth Spanking.
Yeah, it doesn't sound that much different from MythBusters to me. Here's what surprised me. This was just announced sometime between now and last week, right? a few days ago, 4 days ago, something like that.
Yeah.
December 9th is when it premieres on Netflix.
Damn, I'm impressed they were able to keep that shit under wraps. Like,
yeah,
just 3 months out.
They've been busy, apparently.
So you obviously were obsessed with MythBusters. Tell me your interest level in checking this out.
I'm definitely at least going to be checking it out for two reasons. One, I like the three of them. Two, Discovery shafted them hard. So I felt really bad for them, and I'm really happy that they've got another project, and I want to hit it up and give it a shot just to see what they're doing now.
Yeah, I think it's really cool. To me, it's one of those things like the Bill Nye thing. I'm happy it's happening. It's not really for me. I don't really watch reality TV shows, but at all, because I have too many fucking scripted TV shows to watch.
Yeah, I still see stuff like this as slightly different from reality TV, though, because there used to be an educational genre that a lot of this stuff fell under, and then when reality TV became a big thing, they just kind of got thrown into the reality TV genre.
I mean, yeah, I agree. I'm not saying it's like fucking Jersey Shore or anything, but it's still not a scripted TV show.
Yeah.
That's really what I'm saying. Is
it is, though. Let's just be honest. All reality TV stuff is still scripted. So.
Well, let's say plot it out with an actual like writing team that has a 3-act structure. That type of thing is what I'm referring to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm happy for them. I'll probably wait and see what you think about it, because I like MythBusters. One of those things, like, I will watch MythBusters if I happen to find it on TV, like back in the day when I would still have cable or satellite or something. But it's not something I seek out on the reg.
Yeah, I just, since it ended, I just have my DVR set to record all episodes that happen. So, yeah, I still watch a lot of them. I actually have a lot of them going in the background when I'm editing together our videos.
Oh yeah, that's a good like kind of background noise type of thing.
Yeah, pretty much. I've seen them all so many times. I don't even have to see the visual anymore to to know what's happening when I hear it.
Yeah,
I couldn't sit here and dictate it out to you, but if I hear it, I have the visual in my mind. So,
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking Netflix though, man. I don't know how they make any money.
I don't either. They're spending it all, and like, yeah, they raise their prices, but I still don't think that I don't know where their money is coming from.
Yeah, it's a little strange. I just hope we don't get to the point one day where they have so much fucking content where we have to have like commercials and shit or something.
Yeah, I feel like I personally am getting to the point that when the Netflix logo pops up on something, I'm just like, who are you?
Yeah,
there's like some kind of shadow Netflix back there, like pushing things and funding things.
Sky Netflix. Spoiler alert! Gosh.
Spoiler alert! World's ending. Well,
hey
amazing.
Man, the world. If they give me fucking John Bernthal Punisher and Luke Cage right now, they can end the world like next week. Just give me like 48 hours to get all those binge watch, and I'm good. I don't give a fuck.
You got to get through Doctor Strange and Spider-Man first, also.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Don't
forget them.
All right, we got a couple news articles to get through in gaming, and then we are out of here for the day. First up, Batman Return to Arkham is releasing on October 18th.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, it was a little worrisome when originally they were like, yeah, it's delayed indefinitely, y'all.
Yeah, it indefinitely just kind of means we don't know how long, but thanks to Hollywood and a lot of video game projects, it has come to mean canceled.
Or wait for this in 2018.
Yeah, so, they said indefinitely and gave everyone a panic attack, but...
Here's the thing, though. We talked previously about the side-by-side comparisons about this and how, like, some of them were kind of like, I don't know which one I like better.
Some of them, the originals, look better with the lighting.
They released a new video of this that I watched either today or yesterday.
Did they really? I didn't know that.
I believe it's new. I don't know if it was a graphics comparison for the current model of the game, but I do know the video was released in the last couple of days. So I would imagine it'd be a little bit more further down the pipe.
Right.
As far as the release date and like the final product, I was still kind of like, I don't know, guys. Like, I should be blown away by the new version, not thinking while I'm watching your side-by-side comparison which one I like better.
See, and that's what's really been fascinating me about this, because to be honest, I don't plan to buy it because I still have my original copies of the other games, so I'm not going to rebuy stuff I already own. But I've been fascinated by this because, like you said, it's something that should be blowing our minds, because here's the thing. There's three types of Arkham fans. There's the ones that never finish the game and only play them halfway through. There's the ones that are just have their brains fucking blown by those games at every turn, like you and I. And then there's the ones that, you know, they like Batman and they love how well the games are done and the games play well, okay? None of us have been blown away by anything from those side-by-side comparisons on Return to Arkham. And it is staggering, because if you look at just the Arkham Knight versus Arkham Asylum or Arkham City, I mean, those games are night and day different. And I get that, you know, Arkham Knight was built completely differently, but if you're going to release it on PS4 and you're re-releasing games, I mean, were those rebuilt in the new engine, or are they just up-resed?
I believe it's a little bit of both.
A little bit of both.
Yeah.
So it should be blowing our goddamn minds. It should look... It won't look like Arkham Knight, let's be realistic, but it should look closer to Arkham Knight than it does Arkham Asylum.
Yeah, it was... what was weird, too, is I actually was blown away by most of the background images. Like, stuff around the character, like, looked really, really good. But it was, like, specifically the character models. The character models were noticeably better in the originals most of the time to me.
Yeah. The image that I see moving around website to website the most often is, I don't remember exactly what the setting was, but it's a night and day different, and it looks incredible. Because, you know, it looks kind of foggy, misty here and there, but it looks fucking real in PS4, and the Return to Arkham mix, like, has fog everywhere, and, like, it's obscuring, but yet not obscuring, you know, the stuff behind it and everything. Like, you can still tell what's there, but on the PS3 version, the original version, you can't even hardly tell the fog is there and stuff like that. I mean, it's amazing, the difference in that. But like you said, you get to, like, it was really noticeable, I feel like, on Penguin and Joker. It seemed like those are the ones that the originals just blew away Return to Arkham. I haven't seen anything new since that original video, the side-by-side comparisons. But, I mean, the mixed reactions to that was just fascinating to me.
My prediction, this is going to be the PC release 2.0. I think everyone is going to be livid about this.
Oh, yeah?
I think it is going to piss off a whole lot of people. I don't think it helps them that the Arkham Knight PC debacle literally just happened last year. And yeah, I think this is going to go horribly awry, and I think if you're interested in this game, please, for the love of God, wait for it to come out and read reviews before you go and buy it or pre-order it.
Yeah, I agree.
I have a really, really bad feeling about it, and it makes me, sad, because if I had... This was the type of game where I own the originals too, but just because it's Arkham, it would be something I would potentially go and, just go and spend the $60 on just to have it, to check it out, just to see what was changed. But I don't feel good about it at all.
Yeah, and it's mostly due to the fact that businesses being businesses, if this goes horribly or gets horrible reviews or doesn't sell, be like, oh, people have moved on from this and we don't get any new games set in this world, and it's no fault to the games itself. It's the shitty re-release that did it, and that it could potentially kill a franchise with that.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be bad enough to quite kill the Arkham franchise, just because of how lucrative Batman is in a nutshell. Especially because, like, Arkham Knight, even after all of that PC nonsense, like, but Arkham Knight still did fucking fantastically. It was, one of the best-selling games of last year. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see with this one. I'm really, really curious to see the fallout from it more so than I am the actual game.
You've got popcorn sitting in the microwave ready to go.
Because it's just like the people on their laptop, it's like as soon as they get done frothing at the mouth about fucking No Man's Sky, it's like, oh, Return to Arkham. That's my next thing to bitch about.
Yeah.
Although I will say, if you're thinking about buying No Man's Sky, pre-order Batman Return to Arkham in the 5% chance that it's a good game, as opposed to the 0% chance that No Man's Sky is a good game.
Oh, man, that game. That's a whole other podcast, man.
That's a whole other fucking channel. But, okay, we're going to finish out today's episode by talking about the PlayStation meeting that has happened. Is it today? Or is it yesterday?
It was yesterday.
Okay.
It was Wednesday at 2 o'clock, I think, Central Time.
All right. I'm going to let Ron talk the intro to this one because he actually has the article up.
Yeah, it seems, I don't know. I have a lot of mixed feelings about what's happening. I think I am a lot more open-minded towards it than you are, Jeff, but I'm not faulting you because I have the same doubts that you do. But
let's take it step by step. Let's talk about just the Slim first.
Okay. What direction are you wanting to go with this?
Basically, my whole argument that I'm going to talk about the PS4 Pro, I actually don't have an issue with the existence of the PS4 Slim because the same thing was basically done with the PS3 and the Xbox 360. I don't have a problem halfway through your console's life cycle getting a hardware refresh, working some of the kinks out, maybe adding some more hard drive space, maybe putting a little bit of a change in the controller.
I actually did not buy a PS3 until they don't call it a Slim. The PS3 Slim is something different. But the first hardware refresh, really, where they came out with the smaller model. I think it was the 120 gig model was all they called it. I'm not sure. But I actually never bought a PS3 until that one came out. I'm sure there's still some people that are waiting for a PS4 refresh like the PS4 Slim to buy.
Yeah, I guess I will say about the Slim, my opinion on it is I don't feel insulted as an early adopter at the existence of the PS4 Slim.
Yeah.
That's just...
there's not a whole lot of difference in the PS4 Slim hardware-wise. There is a few refreshes, but I mean, they got the same RAM, they got the same processor, the same video output, same game resolution. The Slim will be available in 1 terabyte as opposed to 500 gig. But
they changed the annoying power and eject buttons. They're actual buttons now.
Yes, they did that.
I have to get down on the ground every time to see what button is which on the PS4.
Yeah, they changed a little bit about how it works too, because the original PS4 has a 250 watt power supply. You're down almost 90 watts on the power supply. It's only a 165 watt power supply, so it should run. That should be a sign that it's not only more energy efficient, but energy efficiency also means that you're not running nearly as hot, that you're running cooler. So that could be cool because, dude, playing Doom, my PS4 sounds like it's about to spontaneously combust.
It actually becomes a portal to hell.
It actually becomes a portal to hell. Yeah. All fans are running at high speed, and you're just like, I don't know that I should be doing this for long stretches of time.
I'm so sorry, PS4. I loved you.
Yeah. So, there is something interesting across all 3 PlayStations, though, that I wanted to get to. The PS4 Pro, it's known, will have HDR support, but the original PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 4 Slim, I'm looking at this article on CNET if anyone wants to check it out for themselves. It is titled PS4 Slim versus PS4 Pro versus Xbox One versus Xbox One S. What's the difference? And they actually have a table laid out of all the hardware stuff.
Quickly, the Pro, for anyone who doesn't know, is actually the official name of the Neo. And I would just like to say, keep the fucking working titles over what you guys actually come up with, because the fucking the Morpheus sounded a hell of a lot cooler than goddamn PSVR, and the Neo sounded much cooler than PS Pro.
Yeah. Neo and Morpheus, I mean, come on. If they came out with a badass headset, you could call it Trinity.
Yeah. PS4 Pro, like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It just sounds lame, I'm sorry.
It does. And apparently, Jeff, you and I, not having a Pro, are PlayStation amateurs and don't know what the fuck we're doing.
PlayStation Casual. That's the name of the new one.
That's the actual... like behind the scenes name of the Slim.
Dude, if the PlayStation Slim was just called the PlayStation Casual, I would buy that shit just because.
Set it on the shelf next to your PS4.
Yeah.
So here's what's interesting to me. Most everybody that has a PlayStation knows about the September update that's coming. I still don't know the exact day. I didn't do any research on that because that day seems to have changed a few times. So
September is coming.
September is coming. But it's supposed to be sometime mid-September, which is this month. I don't know why I keep saying September like it's not here yet. Apparently, not only is it doing their usual anti-jailbreaking and stuff like that, and adding fucking folders. Finally, we can create folders. It's also adding HDR support, which I find interesting because the question that I had was the question you asked, Jeff, which was, how the fuck do you add post-hardware HDR support? And another question that I had was, and if anyone knows, feel free to comment. Is the HDR support going to be with games we already have, or just games that you see that are in 4K or have an HDR logo on the back of the box?
Well, I can tell you how they do it post hardware. They take a whole lot of goats onto the Sony lawn and they just sacrifice all of them because that makes no goddamn sense to me.
Because here's
goddamn voodoo magic going on.
Because here's my thing now, and also I'm assuming that does you absolutely no good unless you have like an HDR TV, which I don't.
Because I'm poor. I'm a casual.
I'm too amateurish for PlayStation standards.
I play Candy Crush.
So I used to have Bejeweled on my Xbox.
That's what fucking PS4 Pro sounds like. It sounds like a goddamn mobile upgrade for like the premium version.
But yeah, because here's the thing: if that's something that has been available this whole time, like for any of the PS4 games, then that is complete bullshit. It's just now getting released. But
it's not as bad as just now getting folders. 3 years after the PS4 was a thing, and like 10 years after they were a thing for the PlayStation 3.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous.
That's fucking sad.
So, PS4 Slim's looking pretty good. It looks like it takes quite a bit of the size off, actually, of the original PlayStation. But
what I like about the Slim is it was just like those Slim models for the PlayStation 3, where it's like, hey, if you're just now happening to be in the market for a PlayStation 4, great. You got a better piece of hardware, but it's not the type of thing where you feel the need to upgrade, like you're missing out.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, go on. That's what we're getting to. I'm going to fucking flip shit over.
Okay. PS4 Pro is a thing.
And podcast over.
I'm assuming it looks like the same processor, the same CPU as the original. But we do get quite a jump in the graphics capability. We're going from 1.84 teraflops to 4.2 teraflops. Still AMD Radeon, which I do approve of. I'm not a big NVIDIA fan. 4K video. Then HDR support, of course. We're still at 8 gigs of GDDR5 RAM, which is what's in the original PlayStation. What's interesting here is they only have 1 terabyte hard drive listed. I guess it's not going to come in a lesser model. They don't have an RPM for the hard drive, but I can guarantee you it's going to be 5,400 RPM like all the others. The dimensions, it's quite a bit larger also. And heavier, but I don't carry it around, so I don't necessarily care about that.
Then you're doing it wrong.
Right. The Slim, I forgot to mention this on the Slim. The Slim and the PlayStation Pro, PlayStation 4 Pro, or Neo, whatever you want to call it, does have 802.11ac Wi-Fi. That is gigabit Wi-Fi. And I do appreciate that in the hardware refresh. Because that is one thing that I thought... that was a thing when the first PlayStation 4 came out. It wasn't necessarily popular over here yet, but it was a thing. So, and Bluetooth 4.0 as opposed to Bluetooth 2.1 on the original PlayStation.
Does it list the RAM difference?
The RAM is the same.
The RAM's the same, okay.
The RAM was the same. And a whopping 310 watt power supply. That is more than some off the shelf at Walmart or Best Buy PCs you can buy.
Okay, now wait. Now the RAM, is it the same as the original PS4, or is it just the same as the Slim?
It's the same.
Same all around. Okay.
Same all around. Yep. It's and the biggest difference both have also is never mind. I read somewhere this isn't true. I haven't substantiated this, but PlayStation VR is showing on all 3 models: the original, the Slim, and the Pro.
Yeah, that was one of their big sticking points when the rumors started popping up around the when the Neo first started getting leaked. Is they've been talking, especially when the Resident Evil 7 thing, that demo was coming out, and they had it actually on the floor at E3 working on a PS4, a basic one. So the VR is still going. But here's the thing: I think if you had to have me put fucking money down, I think the VR on the basic PS4 is going to work like garbage compared to the I don't think it's going to be fucking really playable unless you have a PS4 Pro.
Yeah, it's probably going to be like 30 frames per second, and it's probably going to be in like 720 resolution. I doubt it'll be in 1080.
And that's not something... Okay, if you're buying a television, you can, if it's a small enough TV, you can kind of get away with having 720 instead of 1080. If you're talking about running VR at lower specs, you will literally throw up. It is not something that you can skate on.
Yeah.
So if the VR, which I have been praising them for having it actually be accessible on a basic PS4 we've already had, if it doesn't work but at all on the original, and you basically have to upgrade to this PS4 Pro in order to do VR, which they've been pimping out to the extent they have, they can go fuck themselves as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
and I'm not even interested in playing VR, really. I just think as far as a giant middle finger to your consumer base, I think is a giant fucking misstep.
Yeah, the area that you and I differ is pretty much right here. If this refresh is for VR, I can understand it more than if it was just like, cell phones upgrade every year.
That's my worry. Is I agree with you in this instance that if this is just mainly so we can introduce VR into the console, that's one thing. But if these things sell like fucking gangbusters and it sets a precedent, what do you think they're going to do when the PS5 comes out?
Yeah.
If if this is in a vacuum happening because of VR, I'm okay with it. If the PS5 comes out and then 3 or 4 years into the PS5's life cycle, they have a PS 5.5, which is basically another punishment of early adoption. I am going to be livid, and within 10 years, if that's a thing, I won't be really gaming anymore. Because my whole thing with console gaming, and the whole reason people still console game, even though PC gaming has gotten so much better, is that when you bought a fucking PlayStation 3, it would work for the whole fucking 10-year lifespan.
Yeah.
If we get to the point to where you're punished for being an early adopter and you're expected to upgrade just like you are with phones now, the gaming industry, for someone like me that doesn't have the money to afford it, like, they are losing me as a customer.
Yeah, you're setting a precedent either way. It's just, what are they going to do with that precedent? When these consoles first came out, VR was possible, but it wasn't affordable and it wasn't practical. We have reached a point technologically now that the components have gotten cheap enough, and they're able to run cool enough and stable enough to be put onto a single main board. If this is only to refresh hardware for VR, then so be it. I understand. As a computer guy and a hardware guy, I understand that it's most likely going to be necessary, because you're not going to get, like you said, a viable VR experience off of 30 frames per second and 720 resolution and a really low refresh rate. It's just going to be literally a headache. So if I don't know, like I said, I'm torn. I think I'm a little bit more open-minded, because this is where I'm a little bit more optimistic and you're a little bit more pessimistic, which is out of character for both of us. It's because we haven't seen hardware refreshes this drastic, really. This is kind of a precedent for it. I'm hoping it's because VR became a sudden popular thing. But if, like you said, it's going to be just fucking ridiculous if it starts becoming a trend like it is with cell phones, and it's already ridiculous with cell phones.
I agree. If this was purely for VR, I'm okay with the existence of what is basically a PS 4.5. If the PS 5.5 becomes a thing just because people were willing to shell out money for a PS 4.5, that's when they lose me, and I just literally can't afford to keep up with gaming anymore, because that's the reason, really, people aren't PC Master Race, is because from a technical standpoint, there's no reason, and as far as sells, too, with Steam and stuff, there is no reason if you're a gamer, you really shouldn't be PC gaming right now, outside of that fact. Yeah. If Sony and Microsoft start up the trend of the 0.5 thing, I think long-term, they're pushing everyone away. Because why wouldn't at that point you just go to Steam?
For a long time, PC gaming was kind of like the gold standard a little bit over console, because you can swap one part out and all this, and it's cheaper than a console. The graphics were almost always better, and it seemed like a lot of the times, games were more ported to the console than they were to PC. That reversed around the time of the PS3 360, in my opinion, because at that point we reached a stage where the consoles themselves more or less were PCs, and everybody could afford one, and they kept pretty much the same hardware going, so everybody had the same thing. Game developers knew exactly what they needed to do to get their games to work the best across the board, and it flip-flopped so that console games were ported to PC, and then you start getting stuff like Arkham Knight and all that. But I think the PC Master Race would once again be the PC Master Race if they start refreshing. I hope to God it wouldn't be annually, or even biannually. I would hope if they did, it would be much longer in between that. But the thing that worries me, the thing that kind of pushes me into your train of thought, Jeff, because I was a lot more optimistic than I was, because I was like, no, surely not. Sony had said before that the 4K capability would be just for VR and 4K movies. That it wasn't really, they didn't really have any plans to release like 4K games. Well, at the event, a list of 4K games was released.
Yep.
So, and I would give them that Spider-Man was an amazing choice. That was one of them near the top of the list. But my immediate thought to that was, oh no. Because if that happens and that starts becoming a thing, then why wouldn't they refresh their hardware all the time?
You want to know what the best comparison is, even more so than the phone upgrade timetable we have currently going between Samsung and Apple primarily? The Nintendo 3DS.
Yes.
When you talk about how many hardware refreshes and how many adapters they have punished over there, when the 3DS came out, and since then we've had a new 3DS, a 3DS XL, and you're telling me games that are for the new 3DS, you can play them on a 3DS XL that was just 2 years prior, but it won't run in fucking 3D on the thing that is called a 3DS?
Yeah.
That's the thing that worries me, because if we go with Xbox and PlayStation, if we go the route of the upgrade cycle that the 3DS has seen, and even the DS, how many DS refreshes did they have?
A few.
If it goes the route of that as far as that timetable, then I'm done. I will not shell out every 2 or 3 years $300 or $400 for a new PlayStation just to keep up to date. I just refuse to do that. I think long term they are doing what you were saying, and they're pushing everyone towards being the PC Master Race.
And one of the reasons that I think that there's hopefully a good chance that we won't go that route is the fact that, like you were saying, how it would be challenging for you financially to refresh that often a $400 console or more, depending on how advanced they go with the refreshes. A lot of people that I know, so it can't be an uncommon thing, could barely afford the consoles that they have. There's no way, they had to, one of my buddies in particular had to save and save and save forever before he was able to afford his PS4. So there's a lot of people, a lot of their market share out there, I think, that would not be able to do this.
In order, for an example, in order for me to be able to afford the PS4, I had to actually wait until GameStop was having one of their specials when you trade in a console and you get 50% extra credit. And I traded in my Xbox 360 I had, and then used the bonus in order to get the PS4 for $200. That was when I could afford it.
Yeah, and you're not the only one out there, and there's people out there that probably didn't pay their water bill so that they could get their PlayStation, or their Xbox, not just PlayStation. That's the thing about consoles, because PC gaming is the PC Master Race. It's more than just the gaming. It's the hardware and the building of the PC. And people build $4,000 PCs. It's more than just the gaming hobby. It's the hobbyist in them for the hardware and the assembly and the challenge of trying to push the limits of what they can do with a computer and set everything up the way they want it. Console players, not so much. They don't necessarily have the disposable income that a PC Master Race person might have because, like I said, the PC Master Race is building the $5,000 computer. So I don't see that working out well long term if they do plan to do regular hardware refreshes.
You know what's also scary? What percentage of the gaming industry would you say, Ron, is made up of assholes? 98%?
I don't know. I would think that's pretty generous. I'm thinking maybe 99%.
There you go. So you're telling me if the precedent that could be happening is that they're going to be assholes? I think the gaming industry has shown they're going to be assholes. So,
but here's the thing also. Nerds are a fickle bunch. And when they get pissed, they get pissed. So
like No Man's Sky.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not saying that they might not try it, but I don't think it'll be successful. I think it might be successful the first one or two times, but when people catch on, no. Now, again, this is all speculation on yours and I part. For all we know, this could be just for the introduction of VR.
Yeah. It's scary how easy it could go the way we were talking about.
Yeah, it could go very easy, especially when companies like EA and the Nazis exist.
The last thing I wanted to say is, talking outside of the spectrum of the precedents and everything, just talking Xbox versus Sony, I cannot believe Sony, being the console that is outselling them 2-1, is going to have a VR console on shelves a year plus before we don't even have a fucking name for the Scorpio yet.
Yeah.
How the shit did they allow that to happen at Microsoft? I do not know.
It's like Microsoft just enjoys getting spanked by Sony.
If any of them needed to have the VR accessible and on shelves a fucking year in advance, I would think it'd be the console that is getting whooped on in the sales already.
Yeah,
that was just mind numbing to me.
What's funny, and this just could be this chart is not up to date, but that chart on the CNET article, in the notable extras is where PSVR is on all three consoles. For the S, the Xbox S, it just says built-in IR blaster. It doesn't have. It doesn't even. It's not even going to be compatible at all if that's true with any form of VR. And like I said, it could just be this particular article. I don't know. I'm not into Xbox, so I haven't really researched it. But yeah, it has a built-in IR blaster versus PlayStation VR.
I'm just so taken aback. And dude, you know what's crazy too is like apparently the Microsoft thing could end up being Oculus support.
Yeah.
So they didn't even have to create their own VR. Sony created their own VR quicker than Microsoft could partner up with somebody.
And more affordable.
Yeah. I don't even know what to say. Like that's just embarrassing.
Sony, I would give them this. They are killing it.
Oh yeah, it's not even fucking close. I have been a real negative Nancy. It's just I love games. I want to be able to continue to game, and this is getting dangerously close to the Nintendo thing. But we'll just have to wait and see. Did you have anything else you want to add with it, Ron?
No. I think we have beat this dead horse even more to death.
It's important to talk about.
It is important to talk about. But
we never talk about gaming. So
yeah, and we never talk about gaming, and all of a sudden we got real fucking passionate about gaming. But yeah, it does scare me. I think the real takeaway from all of this is, for once, I'm the optimist. That's what's really important here.
I don't trust the gaming industry. That's a big part of it. The gaming industry outside of like two companies has given me no reason to put any faith in them doing the right thing.
Yeah, that's not even a joke, sadly.
Yeah. If you guys would like to check us out more, please like and subscribe. I promise we don't rant for 30 minutes about Sony and Microsoft every week. Sometimes, but not every week.
Every once in a while.
We also have social media links in the description below for Facebook and Twitter. And most importantly, if you know anyone else that might also like our content, we would really, really appreciate you sharing us out there. I'm Jeff.
I'm Ron.
And meet us back next week for a very special 75th anniversary run.
Oh, my goodness.
Is that not ridiculous? We do this for 75 episodes, and you think we actually be good at our job by now?
You think we'd be good at it, and you think we'd have more than, like... You think we would have hit 20 followers by now in 75 episodes? Can we
pull a Microsoft and skip episode 75 and go straight to 76? Can we do that?
Because 76 is just that awesome.
Yes. So check us out next time for episode 76.
for TWBE 1.
Yes, the TWBE 1S.